What's going on, everybody? It's Davey from the 80s, and you are now entering the Cinema Chop Shop, so park your ass right there. While you're there, don't forget to hit the like, the share, the subscribe button. Also, if you check the link below, you'll see a Patreon account. If you click it, you become a member. All you got to do is try to recommend movies and music and trailers for me to react to, so click the link. Now, with that being said, we are here today to review The Mean One. This is a movie that has David Howard Thornton starring in it as the Mean One, aka the Grinch. But we can't say the name because, purposes. It's a property. They could get sued, but apparently they can make a movie that parodies it because it's covered by some sort of artistic amendment. I don't know, but they found a way, a loophole to get around it, and they went ahead and did a R-rated version of The Grinch. Now, this movie is directed by Stephen Lamorty. Stephen Lamorty has done like a handful of films in LA. He's won a bunch of little awards for his little short films here and there. And the man has like some local accolades. We have Crystal Martin, who is a stunt woman, and we have a couple of other people in this movie too. Now, the movie follows the same format as The Grinch. You have the Grinch who hates Christmas, but apparently there's a little twist. This man is killing people on Christmas in the holiday season because he hates the holidays so damn much. Now, here's the thing though. Cindy, the main character, Cindy You Know Who, which is a play on Cindy Lou Who. Like I said, she's played by a stunt woman by the name of Crystal. Crystal does a fantastic job. Like watching when look here. Crystal, Doc, and Crystal's dad, and David Howard Thornton still this fucking movie. Every time they're on the screen, they're very entertaining. Also, there's one sheriff that's kind of funny, but at the same time, he kind of gets annoying after a while. These are the highlights of the movie. Those four characters. Every time they're on the screen, you have a lot of fun. This movie is a kind of like a horror comedy, but at the same time, this is probably where the compliments are going to end. Other than David Howard Thornton's makeup in majority of the scene and the majority of the movie, the makeup in the movie for the most part looks amazing. It looks really good. It kind of reminds you of Jim Carrey's The Grinch. It looks good. Like, I have absolutely no complaints about the makeup. I have absolutely no complaints about those four actors. But at the same time, I knew when I come into a movie like this that, you're going to get some bad acting. You're probably going to get some bad dialogue. You're probably going to have some bad looking scenes. Bad comes with the territory. Like, I mean, look at the property. On top of that, I saw the poster and I was thinking to myself, well, that poster doesn't look the greatest. So I'm going to go in with low expectations. I wasn't expecting like a Terrifier or anything like that. But at the same time, I was expecting something in the bare minimum. And I didn't really get that, and I wasn't really satisfied with it. And I'm going to get down to what I mean by that. Now, my gripes, my problems with this movie, which it has a whole lot of them. I don't understand why this movie used so much stock footage. This movie is riddled with stock footage. I mean, literally, you can see the stock footage. It pans to it pans to another scene, which is supposed to look like the stock footage, but it looks absolutely nothing like it, right? And then also you can tell by the quality of the stock footage, it's like some 4K, 8K resolution stuff, and then it turns and you get this grainy ass 720p looking shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of wild that you're watching this movie and some of the not only is the camera quality bad, which is kind of surprising because we have movies like Unsane, which were filmed with iPhones, by the way. Unsane was filled with freaking iPhones, and that movie looked a whole lot better than this. It's crazy that some people actually filmed the movie on phones, and it turned out a whole lot better than this, which is crazy. But I digress. I'm not going to get too deep into that. But at the same time, not only are they using stock footage, but this movie was really badly edited. All right. I mean, really badly edited, as in like your stock footage should try to somehow, some way align with the regular footage that you have, right? And it's clear as day that certain scenes were filmed at different times of the day. You have what's supposed to be the same shot. One is like completely darker, and I don't know if it's just because like, okay, maybe they shot under like a branch or something or a bush or something like that. But it was just like, come on, like these are clearly like bad shots. It's super dark here. You go there, it's bright. And then it's just, I don't know, like it's just really bad. It's badly edited too. You have weird cuts in the movie. You have weird cuts to stock footage. You have stock CGI or stock green screen effects used in the movie. And I'm sorry to say this, and I didn't want to be the bearer of the bad news, but this movie has absolutely no blood, right? What I mean by that is like there's no actual physical blood. There's CGI blood. There's computer generated blood. There's no actual liquid gold in this movie. And that kind of didn't sit well with me. I was really expecting that blood splatter, at least if I would have got that, I think I would have felt a little bit better. But the fact that it was missing that blood, it didn't sit well with me. And it didn't sit well with my wife either. She hated it. She felt like the blood looks too glistening. It looked too sparkly, which it did. Like it stands out because it's obviously CGI. And them having to work around CGI blood splatter, it made the scenes very awkward, like the scratching or the hacking or something like that. And you had to do things off camera because you can't show the person because you don't have the resources in order to do the practical, right? Now, look, I'm not saying that they should have used David Howard Thornton's name to get some more money, but they should have used David Howard Thornton's name to get some more money, bro. Because y'all could have did something. Like y'all could have go Indiegogo'd or some shit and got a little bit more cash capital so that you could put some practical effects in this movie because it was truly lacking. It was truly lacking in this damn movie. Like I couldn't believe that I was watching like stock CGI implemented in the movie. Like hell, they couldn't even. There's a scene with fire in it. They couldn't even use real fire. And they used stock CGI for that shit. And it looked terrible. And I'm sitting there thinking like, dude, these are like some green screen effects that people take off of websites on a daily basis on some basic editing shit, Like, come on, like for real, like this really looks like it was edited and filmed by an amateur. I've seen so many. I'm telling you, so many. Like when you watch Alter, have any of you guys watched the Alter channel? The Alter channel on YouTube. If you watch the Alter channel on YouTube, those are nothing more than people that are amateur filmmakers that are going to film schools and things like that. How has this man won so many fucking awards and we get this? You know what I'm saying? Like David Howard Thornton owns that shit. Crystal owns that shit. Her dad was funny as hell. The old man Doc was funny as hell. But that's where my compliments end. There was even one scene. There's one scene where David Howard Thornton's makeup didn't look on point. And I was pretty upset about that because I was getting Jeepers Creepers flashbacks. I was getting Jeepers Creepers Reborn flashbacks. And me and my wife both said it, that this movie felt like Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Not in the sense that it was fucking terrible as that movie, but in a sense of like the editing in this movie was that bad, You get stock CGI, you get stock footage implemented in the movie, and it's like, dude, like you telling me you couldn't find a location to just film at? Like for real, are we being serious right now? Are we really being serious right now? There's a kill in the movie with CGI. The first kill in the movie the second kill in the movie has some of the worst fucking CGI I've seen in a long time. That shit screamed 90s CGI. And again, this is coming from me. Like, I'm a fan of this cheesy rom-com 80s, 60s, 90s horror shit. Like, I love this shit. But at the same time, like, I gotta call a spade, dude. Like, this movie was terribly filmed. It was terribly edited. It wasn't thought all the way through. They did not utilize David Howard Thornton to his potential. The fact that you panned away from all the kills in the movie, it took away everything from this movie. If you would have just showed us all the kills, if you would have put a little bit of money towards some of those kills, you would have had something here. But the fact that you panned away from those kills, it kind of took away from the movie. Also, that third act wasn't all that. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, the way that they decided to end it, I wasn't feeling it. Like, it took away everything that this movie was kind of like building up to be. And again, I get it's supposed to be a parody film. It's supposed to be funny. And don't get me wrong, dude. I had a lot of fun laughing at this shit. But at the same time, it shouldn't feel like I'm watching like a low-budget sci-fi / low-budget full moon movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm talking about the Killjoys of the world. You get what I'm saying? Like, now, like, again, surprisingly, the acting was done really well. The acting was done really well. But at the same time, if you're going to give me a face-off between, Crystal and the Grinch, or the mean one, This movie should have just me and my wife was talking about it. We was like, this shit should have been just like Peter Griffin and the Chicken. You know what I'm saying? Just had them just fight each other all the time. Just bah, 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 bah. You think it's over? Walking away. Bah, 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 bah. You know, like that. Just keep doing that. Like I would have had fun with that shit. You know, like I had some fun watching this movie, but it wasn't as much fun as I was expecting. Like I wanted to have more fun. I felt like I was more laughing about how terribly this movie was versus like really thinking about like anything else, you know. And people could get mad and say, yo, it's supposed to be bad, it's supposed to be this, it's supposed to be that. I get it, but at the same time, you could have put like just a little bit of effort into it. If you would have put just a little bit more effort into it, maybe a little bit more money into it, I could have got behind it. But for a movie that was really trying to play up the horror elements, you went in on the bloodshed, but it was CGI. You know, you had bad stock footage, you had bad backgrounds. You know, you had a CGI background at one point, didn't look all that great. You know, hats off to David Howard Thornton, man, because the man really takes this shit serious. The man was an excellent Grinch. At times he reminded me of Jim Carrey, and I laughed every time he was on the screen. I love that shit 100%. I really wish they could get a retake of this movie. And if this is what I'm expecting from Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, and the fucking Bambi movie that's coming out, and the Peter Pan movie that's coming out, and the Wizard of Oz movie that's coming out, you know, I'm going to kind of be skeptical of shit, you know. I know these movies are low budget, but at the same time, give me more, man. Like, really, you should have gave me more. Like, I really felt like this movie could have been a lot better than what it was. If they would have just held it in the pocket a little bit longer, tightened up some shit, maybe refilmed some shit, squirt a little blood here and there, probably would have been better. But the fact that you're watching this movie, and at times I was really bored, man. I was really bored waiting for something to happen. And again, you're mostly laughing about how bad this movie is versus like how funny it is, you know? And again, I love my cheesy movies. I love them cheesy 80s movies. I get where they're going with this. I really sincerely do. But this is a bad movie, bro. This is a bad movie. So here in the Cinema Chop Shop with great movies in 3 ways, count of 3 ways. Either you get bodied and sent to the bowels of hell, and I tell you your movie is basura, homie. Or I tell you your movie's meh, meaning it's más o menos, so-so, mediocre, all that good shit. Or I tell you get spared and I say your movie's excellent, epic, muy importante. Go check it out. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta say that this movie was fucking trash, homie. So this shit getting bodied.
Get what you fucking deserve. I just caught me a mean body.
Yeah, you heard it, folks. I am bodying this damn movie. I love David Howard Thornton. I love everything that he does. Shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Doc in this movie. Shout out to Crystal's dad in this movie. But everything else in this movie is fucking dookie, homie. This shit's boring as hell. It's whack as hell. They wasted this fucking concept. I really wish deep down in my heart that this was a good movie. I wanted to like it, but I just can't lie to you. So that's my review. Let me know if you agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. Please like this damn video because it helps this shit move. And I will see you guys next time. You are now exiting the Cinema Chop Shop. Hope you're having a magnificent day. And adios, homie.